we'll gather round, feel the love compound. Blue elephant is strong.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're going to use this really cute mold today, and I want to kind of do an experiment. I want to see if you can dust your molds with the thermochromic powder, and if so, if it'll still work. So that's what we are going to do today. Now for this, I am just going to dust the main jack-o'-lantern head here, and then the one that he is holding, and then we're going to do the rest with a mixture of Let's Resin's intense chameleon powders and their normal chameleon powders, and just kind of see what will happen. Now, when I clean it, I am cleaning it with alcohol and a Q-tip or the little brush that I was painting it on with for those little tiny areas. And then when I do the actual like outfit of this jack-o'-lantern man, I am going to do the bottom, get some tape, put the tape over it just to remove some of it from the kind of top layer of the mold, and then add a different color. While I do this real quick, I'm just going to pop off and let you watch it, and then I'll be back when we're ready for the next step.
Carved with care, a twisted grin flickers in the pale moonlight. Every step he whispers fear, leaves and shadows dance around. Pumpkin scent on chilly breeze, silent whispers, toxic sound. Evil jack-o'-lanterns here, burning bright with flame inside. Halloween is time to scare, nowhere safe for you to hide. He'll appear when moon is high, haunting dreams and stealing cheer, crunching leaves beneath his feet. Hear his laugh, it chills your ear. Wicked light through forest leaves, casting shapes that twist and writhe. Trapped in nightmare, can't escape. Feel his presence come alive. Evil jack-o'-lanterns here, burning bright with flame inside. Halloween is time to scare, nowhere safe for you.
Alright, so I'm back. Now, I think it looks really cool already. Now, I did leave the eyes, nose, and mouth open because we are going to back this in black. This way, the black will show through. But honestly, midway, I kind of decided that I want to put some glow powder in his eyes, nose, and mouth and make them glow. So we're going to do that. But still, for the full effect of these chameleon powders, we should back it in black. Now, with the intense chameleon powders, it doesn't necessarily matter so much because they are intense no matter what you back it with. But because I used a combination of them, that's what we're going to do. Now, this is either a fondant, a chocolate mold, something like that. I don't remember. So it is going to be matte. It's not going to be shiny. So we're going to have to kind of overcome that by coating it with some UV resin on the top just to get that shine back and for you to actually get the full effect of the chameleon powders, because they don't do so well when they are matte for whatever reason. Now, I did take my time because there's a little tree branch that he's holding for some weird reason. I don't know. But I did take my time and my dotting tool, and I worked the resin in there so that I don't have any air bubbles because it's so thin that it would just completely break it. And I am pouring. I mean, I've got this sped up ×2, so you can just see how slowly I am pouring so that the resin has its chance to kind of flow into all of those nooks and crannies and crevices and all that on its own. And hopefully, fingers crossed, no air bubbles will get trapped. I don't want to go in with my dotting tool other than to kind of move this little bit of resin around into these two areas that it's just not flowed to, because I don't want to scrape off any of the powders that I laid down. Now, we hit it with a heat gun, and we're going to let this cure and see how it comes out. fingers crossed, hopefully it'll work. Okay, so 24 hours later, now it's time to demold this and see how it worked. Now, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and of course, after I poured it, I started thinking that the thermochromic powder that I put is very, very light, and obviously the black is very, very dark, so it's probably not going to work, and it did not. But that doesn't mean that it won't work in other projects. I just really wasn't necessarily thinking along the lines of my backing color when I did it. So it is definitely something that I do want to experiment with at a later time to see if I put either a clear behind it or white or something, lighter, if it will work, because these powders are very light as opposed to like the chameleon powders that go on very, very dark. So it's something to kind of play around with later on, just to see. Anyway, now I am coating it with some NicPro UV resin, and I just kind of put a little bit on in certain areas, and then I'm just going to take this little silicone tool that I have and smooth it out. I want a very, very thin layer. I'm not looking to fill any of the holes with the resin. I am just trying to get a super, super thin coating on it just to shine it up, and that's it. So after I am done doing this, then what I'm going to do is I am going to take my gloss varnish and some of that Art and glow powder that I have, and I'm going to use that white one again that glows red because I think red in his eyes will look really, really cool. And we're going to kind of put that in his eyes, nose, and mouth. Now, I am going to try something else that I've not tried, and that is I'm going to use just a tiny bit of Let's Resin's red alcohol ink to color the glow powder. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that it's not going to affect the glow on it. It's a translucent color, so I don't think that it will, but I am not 100% sure. I just didn't kind of want it white. Like, I want this to be dark and just evil looking like it is. And I feel like if I just left it white like it's already colored, that it's just I just don't see it working the way that I want it to. So, we're going to see. And because the thermochromic powder didn't work in my favor this time, I am just going to take some acrylic paint and go over both jack-o'-lantern heads just to kind of color them up a little bit. Now, it does look, I mean, you can't really see it real well right now, but in person, it actually looks kind of cool, the colors that it is, but I just don't want black pumpkins. So, I'm going to get some white, I'm going to get some orange, and I'm going to do a messy painting on it. And I know you're probably thinking like, well, what the hell is she talking about? But I don't want it to look pretty, right? So I don't want to say I'm not going to take my time because I do take my time to do it, but I don't want the effect of a perfectly painted beautiful orange pumpkin because this is supposed to be creepy and evil looking, so it needs to have that kind of breakup in there where you can kind of see some of that black and just that like rot coming through, but still have the orange touches to it. So you'll see what I mean when you actually see the glamour shots in the finished piece. Now, I do have plans for this as long as I have time before I'm done doing my Halloween videos to use this in a different video. But we'll see. We'll just see. He may make an appearance again. I don't know yet for sure. Anyway, that's pretty much a wrap on this one, guys. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will see you on Tuesday in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
The night, carved with care, a twisted grin flickers in the pale